Fenlon, we meet again. And again. And again.
I grow tired of your visits, cat.
As do I, you slut.
You are a slut.
You're a slut.
You are the slut.
Cat, ready to dance.
I'm always ready.
Fenlongo, I've missed our chats.
You shut up and fight.
Welcome to the mother relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
The bobblehead.
Whoa, Army, baby. And it's a doll, because the head don't bobble. It's a doll. It's a collection item. You can put it on your dresser and it look there and it sit there and it look cute. Baby, the bobbleheads used to be $75 because they really is special edition. You're not going to listen. What? This girl right here? Really, you should be going for $100, mama. The Guo, it got T-Rex on the shorts. Baby, is you cool? Y'all signing stuff is I'm not gonna hold you. It's $100 plus whatever the price is. I love money, but it's like, come on now, $100. Like I know, one of my signatures got sold for $3,500. Somebody sold some gloves that I signed for $3,500.
So Claressa Shields is once again making headlines, albeit for the wrong reasons. Apparently, she took to her social media to hawk some merchandise.
What are those, Funko Pops?
But it looks like, because it's not really a bobblehead if it doesn't bobble, looks like a Funko Pop. And the standard price for a Funko Pop is anywhere in between $12 to $20.
Claressa Shields is charging 3 times that amount at about $60, claiming that really it should be $75 since they are collector's items. But I don't know who's collecting them besides Claressa.
No, I'm not.
And not only that, she's charging approximately $100 for a signature and autograph.
This is what she's doing ahead of her upcoming fight with Kay Scotch.
Yet another fight against a fighter that most people don't know, that nobody was asking for. And it's not becoming of someone of Claressa Shields' stature, the stature she's supposed to have, who she claims to be. Whoa!
Goofiest woman of all times. It's given rise to suspicions that Claressa Shields, in spite of her big $8 million deal, she's hurting for cash. She's hurting for money because when you read in between the lines, that's what she's taken to social media to do. To ask for money!
How the fuck could she be hurting for money? She's supposed to be making $2 million a fight.
I don't know how many of any people are going to give her $60 to $75 for a Funko Pop. Or $100 for a signature. I mean, there are people out there more famous than Claressa Shields that don't charge their supporters anything for a signature, for an autograph. When they attend an event, a grand opening or something of that nature, they get paid by the event coordinators to show up. The signatures, the autographs, those are free.
You don't see Amanda Serrano doing this to her supporters. You don't see Katie Taylor doing it to hers. So where does Claressa Shields get? Somebody's got to cough up $100 for her John Hancock?
People think she's hurting for money. She's hurting for money. You tell me. If she's not hurting for money, why is she doing this?
Why?
She thinks she's slick. You bought a bunch of $20 Funko Pops and thought you could jump online and sell them for 3 times what you paid for them.
Which is pretty mom and pop of you.
It's not what she's doing, but how she's doing it. Lots of fighters, lots of athletes and public figures have merch.
They try to sell it
via an online store, something to that effect. You don't see them doing that themselves because they have more pressing matters to tend to. Claressa should. She's supposed to be getting ready for a fight.
I just get the impression this situation between her and Win Records, it's not going to end well. I could see her relationship with Papoose souring. The man is 50 years old, isn't he?
Guy's probably got to scarf down a whole box of honey packs to get excited to see her.
Yeah.
In a very general sense, relationships don't last forever. They may last for a season, and then you move on to someone else. And if that relationship between her and Papoose sours, remember that this guy is the creative director at Win Records, who she's got a contract with.
Say they break up before the deal is done and the contract ends. That's gonna be pretty fucking awkward.
Say she doesn't really understand the terms of the deal, and she's under the impression that in 2 years' time, she's gonna walk away with $8 million, not realizing it was contingent upon other factors.
Oh, then it could go to the courts.
I could totally see that happening as a byproduct of Claressa not really understanding what she signed on to, who she signed with. I could see it happening as a matter of spite, that if things go sideways between her and Papoose, to be vindictive.
Watch out now.
I was talking to my old accountant the other day, Fig, a regular on the channel, who said that the uptick in content creators now covering Claressa Shields, and there's a lot of them, heralds her crossing over into the mainstream, which is only half right, because while it is true she's got more visibility than she did before, it's as the butt of every joke. I mean, have you watched these videos and seen what people are saying?
If she can actually get off this merch and make a killing on Funko Pops,
Then I could see if there were big ticket sales in association with this would-be crossover into the mainstream.
then that's what it would be. But that's not what this is.
The world has become aware of what I've been telling you here on this channel for years, that Claressa Shields is probably the most unlikable boxer in boxing right now, male or female. The woman has the personality of a bear trap, with very few redeemable qualities. She very much appears to be the heel, the villain, and that would be an avenue of opportunity to make money like Floyd Mayweather did playing the heel, except she doesn't have the frick to her frack. She doesn't have the opponent options that he did, and so she's not able to parlay that into big money.
No, not really.
So there is an air of desperation whenever you see her, trying to keep up appearances, make it seem like she's swimming in it by selling Funko Pops and $100 signatures?
Well, all right.
Sharing a card with uber celebrities and has-beens in an effort to cultivate their collective fan bases to make for one big event that doesn't really seem all that big.
Chrissy and Rock recently crossed over into boxing.
I always thought she was kind of cute, even though she's missing her two front teeth.
Claressa congratulated her on her foray into the world of boxing, and it was Tasha K who predicted, don't be surprised if not long, Claressa starts calling her out, because she's got that kind of love and hate relationship with everybody around her. I mean, she did used to be friends with Amanda. Now she doesn't like her. It was the same with Alicia.
It was the same with Layla Ali, who started out as her mentor. Then Claressa tried to frame it to where it was Layla that turned on her. In reality, it was Claressa.
So could she turn on Chrissy and Rock?
Chrissy, for as dysfunctional as she is, has more mainstream appeal than Claressa Shields, and in my humble opinion, she's a lot more attractive.
I'd eat it.
Just imagine that the Win Records deal isn't paying Claressa the way that she wants to be paid. I could totally see her resorting to that, calling out an Uber celebrity. She's already sharing a card with them. The next thing is to start fighting them.
Could totally see it.
It's a sad state of affairs indeed for what's supposed to be one of the pound-for-pound top woman boxers in the world becoming the butt of every joke like this, but that is the situation. Elsewhere in the world of boxing, the continued fallout of Shakur Stevenson's recent announcement that he's going to be boxing under the Zuffa banner henceforth, saying, I'm in the money-getting business. And Zuffa is kicking out a lot of money to bring him over, with Shakur Stevenson, the latest fighter to sign with upstart promotional company Zuffa Boxing. Many have questioned the move, as it would, on the surface, seem to preclude him from making any real notable fights given their current roster. Talking to ESPN, however, Stevenson simply claims the money from Zuffa was too much to turn down. I'm in the money-getting business, Stevenson told ESPN on Thursday. Without getting into specifics on the financial details of his deal, Stevenson simply said, the money is insane.
Insane is right, as you would have to be paying that much to Shakur to bore audiences and put people to sleep.
Yeah, everybody but his opponents.
Stevenson would also clarify that he doesn't expect that this signing will preclude him from making the notable fights he'd otherwise be targeting. I wouldn't have signed if I can't get the fights that I want, Stevenson said, assuring fans that he still wants the biggest and best fights possible, and he's in no way looking to take on small-time matchups that won't advance his career. That said, Stevenson said he's not looking to make a run at Undisputed and grab a whole bunch of belts, but rather take on the biggest prize fights the fans want to see. Of course, if Stevenson is to participate in the fights the fans most want to see, it means Zuffa will have to step outside of their edict of self-insulation to work with other promoters who have access to the fighters Stevenson would presumably need to be matched against. How this all shakes out remains to be seen for the time being, but having a talent like Stevenson in their roster surely brings a little more gravitas to Zuffa.
My previous video, I talked about how all Zuffa's really doing is paying for the finished product. The work that somebody else put in to the career of Shakur Stevenson was Top Rank who developed him from the amateurs into the pros.
To which Giant TV 8804 responded, dude, Top Rank stunted his growth. Get the fuck out of here.
Stunted his growth how, genius? The only reason you even know who the man is because Top Rank promoted him. Top Rank signed him, invested their money, had him fighting on the biggest sports network in the country. Get your head out of your ass and your opinions out of your feelings.
Big part of the reason Shakur is where he is today is because Top Rank put the work in, and there's no guarantees that it would have been the same outcome with some other promotional outfit.
Top Rank's vetting process is the best in the business. They are the best at not only identifying top-level prospects, but grooming them into top-shelf professionals.
What's this guy arguing about?
I don't know because the video wasn't actually about Top Rank's vetting process, only that they're the ones who developed Shakur, which is truth.
He thinks they stunted his growth. The same people who thought he was boring before still think he's boring now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Or what that has to do with Zuffa paying an insane amount of money to bring this fighter over without having an abundance of options for him now that he's there, because now that he's there, who is he gonna fight?
He's a WBO 140-pound champion, and they don't have a 140-pound division.
Barely have a 147-pound division.
Had a good bit of civil discourse last night on the live stream with regulars Drew and Undefeated, who feel that this heralds Zuffa's taking over of the sport of boxing, where not everybody agrees.
Because they signed a fighter that both of you guys think is boring.
Oh, what, are you all of a sudden excited because he's a Zuffa fighter? Misael, a friend of the channel, said Zuffa needs to buy every popular fighter DAZN has to steal their fan base. Zuffa could not have pay-per-views, but they do have a Boots versus Virgil, Boots versus Fundora, Virgil versus Fundora, and several other possible fights, sure. Not every boxing fan is gonna buy every pay-per-view or sign up to the Ultimate tier, and they're gonna steal some of those, but nobody's gonna watch a fight on Paramount with two randoms fighting. They're gonna watch a movie instead. Message!
It's kinda true. Most people are subscribed to Paramount for their movie catalog. I know I am. I have been for years.
Misael continued, whereas the casuals might buy 2 or 3 pay-per-views and tune in to good little non-pay-per-view fights with familiar names year-round. Essentially what he's saying is Zuffa signing Shakur is not the game changer it's made out to be, because here you have a fighter who most people think is boring. Shannon Sharp just got into an argument with him about it.
Think about the size of Shannon Sharp's megaphone, the amount of people that tune into his podcast, some of which probably never even saw Shakur. As far as they know, he's one of the most boring fighters in the industry.
And you guys are paying him what now?
How much money did you have to put up to bring him over? And how much more are you gonna have to put up to do his fights moving forward?
He's only over there because you guys are willing to pay him more than the other promoters. But the other promoters, they know more about what they're buying into than you do. They know more about this industry. So the fact that you're willing to pay him more than they are, I wouldn't call that a good thing.
It's one thing to acquire the talent, but it matters a great deal how you use it. And without the opponent options, it's hard to say how this is going to turn out.
I won't forecast gloom and doom just yet, but I will say that Zuffa's got their work cut out for them. Even with signing Shakur, now you got to get somebody for him to fight.
A lot more work needs doing. Men's heavyweight news. The Fury versus Joshua location, ring walk times, are a major holdup for the fight to take place at Wembley. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are tentatively slated to fight late this year, provided the two win their July tune-ups, as expected they will. But location has become a major concern. The iconic Wembley Stadium in London is the hoped-for and most actually logical venue for the fight, but organizers will need Wembley's 11 p.m. curfew to be lifted in order to actually land the bout, as suitable main event start time is the main concern for moneyman Turkey LL Sheik. Sky Sports has more specifics on exactly what the issue comes down to, reporting that 11 p.m. curfew for the venue would need to be lifted for the event, as 1 a.m. local time is desired for the main event ring walks.
Why would they want them to be doing their ring walks at 1 in the morning? In the UK?
For those wondering, that translates to an 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific start time for the main event in the United States. This is important because while the live event absolutely makes the most sense, and really only true sense, being in the UK, this is obviously a major worldwide fight for streaming, televising purposes, and you want the most viewers possible, whether the fight airs on DAZN or Netflix or whatever else. London Mayor Sadiq Khan,
That fucking idiot.
has said he supports the fight being held in London, but Al Sheikh says he's been told that later start time is not possible, with further talks to be held in hopes of convincing Khan to lift the curfew for the evening. If the fight is a no-go in London, there has been talk of it taking place in the United States, which could be interesting, because you'd still want a decent start time for the big UK crowd that will be tuning in, which could still equate to an 8 p.m. Eastern start time in the States, which would be unusual for a big event on American soil, where main events for major shows like this often don't start until midnight Eastern time or sometimes a bit later. An unigorable potential compromise would be for the fight to be held in Saudi, where Al Sheikh will have permission to start the fight whenever he wants, to make the most people happy with the televised start time. In the meantime, Joshua is set to face Christian Prenga later on this month in Saudi, while Fury will fight the day before Joshua's fight on the 24th in what is a non-televised bout against Marius Vach.
This is bizarre, because no matter how you slice it, you're attempting to alienate the fight fans most invested in this match to accommodate a bunch of other people who might not be. Who is this to accommodate? The fight fans in America? This fight doesn't mean to the Americans what it means to the Brits, so why would you alienate the Brits for them?
It's ass backwards, to the point I almost think they're pulling our leg. Collectively, is this a prank? Are we being punked? Because this don't make no sense.
I think the viewership in the United Kingdom alone, if you did this at a conventional start time, would more than make up for anything. And anybody in the United States who's actually interested in seeing this can watch it in the afternoon.
What's the problem?
I'm just hoping that this is all Turkey's idea of a practical joke on the British fight fans.
A UK time accommodates that many more territories, that many more different markets in Europe, who I think are a bit more interested in this bout than just the Americans. It also accommodates a Saudi time zone.
An American one too, because at the very worst, you'd have Americans tuning in at around what? 3 or 4 in the afternoon, when they're free, leaving them plenty of time to go out later in the weekend and get sloshed.
Doesn't make any sense. So close to the fight being done and it finally happening, that this be the hang-up, this is the hold-up, accommodating other time zones in other markets.
You're kidding.
More details about Tyson Fury's second consecutive tune-up fight with Marius Vach that is happening in Thailand, land of the ladyboys, and will not be televised or picked up by any broadcasters.
Supposed to be a charity event of some kind.
I'm not the only one that noticed how much time Tyson Fury is now spending in Thailand. I think there's a reason behind that. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe testing is harder to conduct.
Anti-doping testing?
Every time you saw the guy, he used to be in Marbella. Now he's always in Thailand. I think there's a reason for that.
Listen, the fucking Joshua fight's gotta happen in the UK, on a UK time zone. Anything other than that don't make no sense.